sure we don't mess that up. Okay. There. Got this. Make sure this all lines up. Gives a nice straight. Alright. There we go. Beautiful. Alright. Here we go. Make sure this is all okay. Let me go lift this up. Take that off. Let me zoom back out. I sure hope my hands have been in the way. That's been kind of a problem in some of these videos. Get my paws in the way and you can't see what I'm doing. Kind of defeats the purpose of the whole blog, of the whole video. So get my squeeze and caulk here and lay a thin bead caulk down the center. Don't want to overdo it. Okay, just like that. I got some chunky stuff clogging this thing up. It's not coming out as nicely as it usually does. Then nothing really works out the way I want it to when I'm trying to do this live, so that's part of the fun of reality model railroading. This is raw, uncensored, uncut. You're seeing the real deal. Oops! Alright, well I can clean that off. No biggie. I'll put that on just like that. Alright. Have that in place. I want to make sure. Problem is when you cut track like that, the rail, once it's free from the ties, has a tendency to straighten out a little bit. So what I'm trying to do, I'm not trying to bend this or anything, but I'm trying to get this so this curves as smoothly into this as possible. It's not going to be as nearly as smooth as the original piece I put on there, because I just put a whole section over there and cut it, glued it down in place, and then cut it, so it's not going to be quite the same, but I want to get it close enough so I don't end up with a bunch of headaches, like unnecessary derailments. That would not be cool. That would not be fun at all. Not be fun. Alright. Alright, let me cut a couple of my little diskettes here. Alright, sure, you can move. I don't care. I'll have this thing soldered in place. And I won't have any choice but to stay. Okay, a little bit thicker, a little bit more solder. We want to be a little bit generous in this situation. If there's a little bit too much solder, I can always go back with a file and do a little correction there, file some of it down, and then give it a shot of grimy black to hide it, so at least decorate the PC tie a little bit so people won't say, oh wow, that looks like a PC tie. They may still say it anyway, but it won't be noticeable. So don't you hate it when people notice your PC ties? Probably not. Anyway. Alright. Okay, let me do this so you can see what I'm doing and I won't burn my hand. So let's get this thing to flow underneath. Good. Very good. My plans for world conquest will soon be achieved. Let's see. Alright. That, I could shift it over a little bit more. Not quite perfectly aligned. Okay. Let me hold on to this, tweak it a little bit, heat it up. Alright, I think we're good to go. Put some solder on the other side there. Let me turn this over, give you a little close-up on what's going on. Alright, that's soldered in place. This actually looks like it's in fairly good shape. I need to tweak it and hold it in place. This is the rail that actually slips back and forth. That's loose. And that's loose in the roadbed there, so I can curve it. So I need to give this a little helping hand. Alright, get another, because it's wanting to move around. Whoops, it's wanting to move around a little bit. So let's move this piece over, drop it on like that. Now let's go ahead, touch the iron to it, let the solder flow on. Here. Not a perfect transition, but I think under the circumstances, I think that's about as good as it's going to get. I'll have to weight this down and let this dry. Let me do a quick test, and if I need to adjust it later, I can always go ahead and undo the solder. So I think I'll only solder it on one side because I need to run some tests to make sure that trains are going to go over it relatively smoothly. And we get my little test car. See how well that works. A little clickety click, but that's kind of going to be expected. Alright, well, I'm going to let this caulk dry for a bit, weight it down, and do a little more tweaking. But I think I'm going to put more solder on either side of the rail to get it firmly in place. But other than that, I think we're good to go for this fix. And then what I'll do is drill some holes in here and then solder some feeder wires. Oh yeah, gap the foil. Got to do that, else we have short circuits. Attach feeder wires to here, so we got good DCC signal through here and through the bridge. So anyway, I'll get back to you when this is dry.